parallel universe that emerged concurrently with Earth Omega. So everything that happened in the original DC universe is completely flipped on its head.
Yes, James Gunn
in the Alpha world or Elseworld.
Yeah. So,
so if Bruce Wayne was rich, he's poor.
He's poor.
If Superman was,
his parents were smart scientists. This one, they're
farmers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, and da. So like it,
they still become the heroes, but they're more brutal.
Absolute
units.
Their justice is absolute.
Yes. So they're more brutal, but they still save people. So it's like if you were to look at The Boys or a modern day show where the hero, there's collateral damage. It doesn't pretend that there isn't. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, for example, when we were reading, when we were watching the first chapter, where Batman just took the axe off of his bat chest, connected it, and then
just started hacking motherfuckers'
and
hands off.
then Alfred Pennyworth wasn't his butler. Because in every iteration, Alfred used to be agent who retired, worked for the Waynes. This one, he continued working for the Waynes, and he continued doing the secret agent thing, never retired, and then just him noticing like Batman fighting, he avoided all the vital points, so you're in much worse pain.
That's crazy work. Yeah, he avoids severing like major arteries,
yeah,
or like nerves or anything like that. Like,
but the weaponry he has,
it's pure brutal.
Like his bat horn ears,
his little bat ears. He yanks them off, and they're like knives, and he just like.
But he avoids all the vital points, and then of course, the bat on his chest is an axe. Is a battle axe. So it's like, bro, it's insane.
His Batmobile's literally a dump truck. That's crazy.
You what?
Yeah, it's an actual dump truck.
Oh, it's a literal dump truck.
That's awesome, bro.
Right, because he's a construction worker.
Yeah, but
he's not rich.
They already figured out. Yeah, he's like the regular.
He's a regular 9-to-5 Joe Schmo.
Yeah, and then of course Killer Croc is regular. He grew up with Killer Croc, the Riddler.
He grew up with all the villains.
And the villains aren't villains.
They're his best friends.
Yes.
Right.
So but it's different, bro. It's a different take on
Nah, but the Martian Manhunter is what really got me into the thing, because it's some crazy shit.
It fucked with your brain.
It really did. I get it, right?
You want to give a little
he literally
synopsis?
Okay, so it posed the question: is the Martian Manhunter John Jones, or is John Jones the Martian Manhunter? And that's how it starts off the series. So it's just like, okay. So we're following the life of John Jones, who we all know is like the alias of Martian Manhunter.
Yeah.
But in this absolute universe, John Jones is completely separate from the Martian Manhunter. He's his own person, his own entity with his own life. And, like John Jones, like he's a detective. And like he's hell bent on solving crimes and helping people and blah blah blah.
Yep.
And I guess on one of the cases he was working was to stop can I say the word, like a terrorist or something like that? Okay, yeah.
In the comic book,
yeah, in the comic book. And when he ends up cracking the case, he ends up getting caught in an explosion that kills him.
Yep.
And in that moment, he wakes up in the doctor's office and
amnesia or something like
that. And he's fine. His body's healed, The doctor's like, take these pills, you'll be fine. You'll just have a headache. You'll puke a little bit, and just go on about your day. Well, John Jones continues his life every day, working his cases, but things,
something's off. Like he can read his wife's mind. He knows his wife is cheating on him.
Like he can hear his wife's mind. Yes. Like the things she's not saying behind the words
are
she's
coming
saying.
out.
Right.
Yeah.
So he notices that one thing. So now he knows his wife has been cheating on him for 3 years, but like she never verbally said it.
Of course.
So he can hear his wife's thoughts.
Yeah.
So John Jones starts freaking out, He starts seeing. I'll speed it up, but he starts seeing delusions and things
Colors,
like that.
yeah.
Colors. Smoke starting to come out of people's ears.
Everyone's smoking. Yeah, everyone in that universe was smoking for some reason.
Everyone was smoking. And
there was a heavy metaphor behind that, like
right. It was all metaphorical, but my goodness. Okay, but like, and it all meant something. But pretty much like halfway through it, he starts questioning his sanity, questioning whether he had multiple personalities, because this entity is starting to enter his mind. It's talking to him and guiding him through this delirium, this hallucination, these episodes of, seeing these things and hearing people's thoughts. And it's telling him, and it's trying to explain to him, hey, this is what this is. You need to find a way to control it. Yes. He's like, why can't you tell me what this is? And then he says, if I tell you what it is, I can break your mind. If I tell you everything I know, I will break your mind. So you must find a way to interpret this in a way that your mind can understand it.
Yep.
So, oh man, it's so crazy. So like,
no, it's crazy. It's good, man. It makes you think.
Stuff,
it makes
man.
you think.
Like,
It's a different perspective of looking at Martian Manhunter,
right?
Because no one has ever looked at. And then it was explaining. There's like a backstory. You know how they were saying with the Green Lantern Corps, the Guardians. They basically the Martian Manhunter. They said the story is the Martian Manhunters aren't from Mars.
They aren't actually from Mars.
That's just what they're called. And basically, there were one race, but one very dangerous race that used fire to make more of themselves.
It was a race born at the beginning of time.
Exactly.
Right. A race of beings born at the beginning of time.
Basically, it was one entity. They would use fire to create more of themselves, but they became dangerous because they're starting to take over the universe. So the Guardians of the Green Lantern Corps stepped in because, of course, they didn't. The entire universe would have been in peril because, remember, the Guardians have been here since the beginning of time, So what they basically did was they took, as horrible as it sounds, they took the entity, the Martian race, and then they split them into three different beings. You have the white Martians, the green Martians, and I think the red Martians or something.
Is it the red Martians?
Something like that. No, blue.
Blue Martians. The blue Martians.
So you had the blue, the white, the green. So the red, the white and the green Martians didn't like each other. The whites were underground, the greens were on top. It was like a whole racial thing, like Earth had with blacks and whites. So, and then they made them afraid of fire, so they couldn't reproduce. So every Martian that you see, they're scared of.
They have this irrational fear of fire.
Yeah,
right.
It doesn't do nothing to them. It creates more.
It creates more of them.
Yeah, it creates.
But they're
more of them.
insanely afraid.
They're
of fire.
insanely afraid of it because they don't reproduce like regular human beings or other aliens or whatever like that. They use fire and then of course a piece of their DNA to create more of themselves. But because the lantern the lanterns inserted that fear into them, they stay away from fire, which is kind of their origin story. Some people try to change it up a little bit, but that's kind of what it is. So I think that's what if you think about it, kind of created or split them. The fire actually separated John.
Right. I got the fire. Right, the explosion. Right. But here's the thing, though. Here's like the craziest part about all of this, and where the mindfuck comes in, right? Because because the Martian is this cosmic entity. Like, it's so crazy. Okay, so the easiest way I can say this is if me and Jeff believe Bruce exists, but Bruce never existed. You understand what I'm saying? Everyone in the world has these memories of Bruce, but Bruce never existed. But here's Bruce. Ow.
Well, it's like Spider-Man No Way Home, when Doctor Strange erased Peter Parker from everybody's mind. Right. Spider-Man exists, but nobody knows.
Exactly. But the thing is, John Jones is just Martian Manhunter shapeshifted into a human.
Yes.
But he only looks human because he implanted that memory in the entire planet's brain.
Yes. Except for his
son.
Exactly.
Because his son is his race, so he only sees him as himself.
Exactly.
So everyone sees John Jones as human. But here's the kicker, though. John Jones is his own entity.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Martian Manhunter created this persona that believes it's real.
Mm-hmm.
It is limited within the mind of what a human can understand.
Yes.
That's crazy work. That's crazy work.
And that's a comic book.
Yeah, that's a comic book. That's crazy work. That's absolute.
That's the absolute universe with absolute.
No, that's crazy
Martian
work.
Manhunter. And that was just issue number 1. That was just issue number 1. So that'd be insane to see where they're going with this direction, because that's how they started it.
So he had to make himself remember who he was.
Yes.
But not in a way where he would break his mind.
Yes.
But the only reason why he would break his mind is because he created a human mind.
Exactly.
And a human persona.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy, but he's outside of that.
Exactly.
That's crazy, but he can switch between both persona even though both of them are him. So it still begs the question, is John Jones the Martian Manhunter, or is Martian Manhunter John Jones?
Well, it's like the Swamp Thing when everyone assumed, because the guy, and it's a DC Comics, so because after the gang members threw his body into, what did he say, Bruce?
This is not says this is going to be on the test.
No, it's like when Swamp Thing, when they threw the Swamp Thing's body into the toxic river, and he came back as a new entity,
right?
And then he thought he was that said guy, but he wasn't. He was
the memories.
Yes, he just absorbed the memories. He was something new. So
right.
the guy's body was still there. The soul was gone.
John Jones isn't a real person. He's just Martian Manhunter that implanted the fake memories. It's like everyone sees Bruce as Bruce, but Bruce is not really Bruce. Bruce is a cat.
It's like that old film.
Okay, let's say Bruce is actually a cat, but everyone sees Bruce as a dog.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Right.
It's like that old alien film where the guy put on the glasses and he can see what the aliens really look like.
Right,
yes.
right.
So John Jones is in alien form 24/7. He just projects his consciousness to show everybody that he's John Jones, not Martian Manhunter.
But he projects that consciousness on himself as well. Because he can't invade John Jones's consciousness with Martian Manhunter's mind, because he would break it.
Yeah, because remember, he's outside of time.
That's crazy. Right, because his race comes from the beginning of time.
The presence.
The presence. Right, the presence.